Welcome to the 2021 Vesta Showcase. Coming to you from the heart of Indianapolis, Indiana, Vesta Nutra.
Hello everyone. I've been given this great opportunity to sit down with Val Som and Richard Penner today to host this event and be able to ask them some good questions about their company. So thank you both for having me here today.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Pleasure.
So if I were in the business to develop my own supplement, where would I even start?
Well, if you're developing a new supplement and you're a startup, here at Vesta, we have a division which works with startups directly, and we work closely with you in developing formulations. If you need a turnkey operation, and help provide you the kind of support to substantiate if it's a good formula, if it's viable, and we'll work hand in hand with your team to finalize it. And at that point, we'll set up some stages of development, like R&D, testing, and talk about pilot runs, things to that nature. We're very good at developing and nurturing startups to make sure they make the right decisions.
Right. It's always great to know what your goal is. What's your end goal? What's your focus? Are you wanting to do an immunity product? Are you wanting to do something for cognitive health? If you have that in mind, that's going to help guide your direction in the process of getting it developed. So you're going to have to figure out, what size capsules? Do you want capsules or tablets? Is this going to be sold in America? Is this going to be sold internationally? Because everyone has a different regulation in every different country. So there's a lot of things that will take place along the way, and it's quite a learning process, but we're here to help, all the way through that.
Okay, good to know. Well, could one of you tell me what would be a few things I should look for in a contract manufacturer?
Well, the key thing is to be able to look for experience, someone that's been there and done the job. We have 24 years plus experience as a contract manufacturer on a global level. And with that kind of reference and experience, we bring to the table a lot of expertise, not only in the fact of being able to manufacture with our certifications, cGMP, NSF, all the standards of a pharmaceutical grade facility, because where we used to manufacture Adderall under pharmaceutical guidelines, which lets us have the distinction of having one of the best fine-tuned manufacturing facilities in the city. So things like that would be priority one. And hopefully you have a track record of delivery and have what I call a price-sensitive element with a quoting department and a division that makes sure the pricing's right and that the delivery's on time.
On the back of Richard's t-shirt, it says, "Been there, done that." No, just kidding. But,
Move right along.
no, but another thing you would want to look for in a manufacturer is their capabilities. If you're wanting a soft gel, you're going to need somebody that can work with oils. If you just need a powder, then you can work with dry ingredients. You're just going to want to look at the capabilities, their packaging capabilities, those kind of things. At Vesta, we are a hygroscopic facility, so we're really good with working with sensitive powders, and we work with dry powders. Like
NADH, SAMe, and hygroscopic meaning specifically dry.
Right.
Tableting, encapsulation, powders, tolling. That's our wheelhouse of expertise.
Okay, well, wow, that's a lot to think about. So let's break that down a little bit. What's the difference between a tablet and a capsule as far as the delivery to the body?
Well, surprisingly, I just learned this, and surprisingly, you can actually fit more of your ingredients into a tablet than you can a capsule. I thought a capsule had more space in it, but you can actually crush all the ingredients down into a tablet, so you can fit more into a tablet. Normally, you can. Tablets they can be coated for the enteric coating or clear film coating, so that they digest properly in time release and things like that, and will make it to different parts of your body for digestion. And then you can always cut a tablet in half, and so you can half the dosage. Some people like that, but with a capsule you can pull it open and just use half of it if you'd like. You can get a veggie capsule. I don't know that you can really get a tablet. I don't know that it comes in a veggie form, but those are some of the differences. Can you think of any?
Well, the differences primarily are, one's a tablet, like you said, it's pressed, and a capsule is a capsule. And in regards to ingredients, you can put more into a tablet, yes. Capsule delivery can be a little more efficient even than a tablet, as far as going into the intestine or going to dissolve in your mouth. It depends on what the client's needs are, but there's such an array of different options, we can complement all of them.
Okay.
Funny that capsules actually get into your system faster than tablets. that was another surprise for me.
Oh, that is a surprise.
Yeah.
I would not have thought that.
Right.
Surprise,
Okay.
surprise.
Well, there. Well, you know what? You mentioned a formulation. If I had a few ingredients in mind, how would I come up with a formulation?
Well, hopefully you've had a R&D team work on this and you're just not kind of just coming out of nowhere or something, that you have a vision and an idea of what you want. In regards to a formulation, you want to determine, what do you want this to do? Do you want it to relieve pain? Do you want it to accentuate energy? There's a lot of factors that go into helping you with that formulation. And with that information and knowing your base results that you're trying to achieve, we can help with the application of different things that we know that work in that same field.
Right. But going back to your question about what to look for in a manufacturer, maybe you're looking for someone that can help you with that. You might, you have an idea for a product, but you don't have a formulation. Right. And maybe you're not a scientist. I certainly wouldn't be a scientist that could mix the ingredients together. But a good manufacturer will have an R&D team that can do that for you and help you mix
and
all the ingredients.
In some cases we have stock formulations for a lot of products. Because at Vesta we do have our own private line, and it's a stock formula format that can be used and private labeled, which a lot of companies and individuals do use.
Okay,
Right.
well that is interesting.
One more thing, sorry if I'm... I
No,
don't
go
know if
right ahead. Give me some more.
One more thing is that a lot of people tend to want to mix a lot of ingredients. I want to make this immune pill, and I want it to have zinc and selenium and beta glucan.
Exactly.
I want all this stuff in there. Truthfully, if you really want your pill to pack a punch, you're gonna not want so many ingredients in it. Now, I know that kind of goes against a normal thought process, but you actually want the most you can get of the active ingredient, of one active ingredient, or maybe two, that you can pack into one pill, and then that's going to really knock out the problem that you're trying to
Give you a
address.
better benefit.
Right.
Okay.
And so if you need help with that, let me just say that Vesta is here to make your dream supplement a reality.
Oh, that is good to know. Well, I definitely can't wait. I can't wait to share that with all of my
But that's a
colleagues.
reality.
Okay.
We do pride ourselves in that. That's very true.
Well, so Richard or Val, is your company been experiencing any setbacks due to COVID-19?
That's a good question.
Well,
I don't, from what I know, talking to our purchasing people, we have not really had any major setbacks. I remember them talking about lids were on back order at one point. But as far as I know, we have not had any delayed orders or had any problems with back orders or anything like that. So I know that we have been working every day through the pandemic.
With 24 years of experience, we've negotiated and nurtured a lot of great relationships with our suppliers. So the supply chain issue is not a big deal with us. And we have a tremendous workforce in the Midwest. So we've had a really good blessing to have ample people to supply the kind of labor and energies to manufacture. So we've been pretty blessed.
Yes, truly.
Sounds like it. I know many companies had to lay off half their employees, if not even more. So it sounds like as busy as you've been, you probably didn't have to do that.
Right. We're hearing a lot about the West Coast is having troubles with employees showing up to work, things like that. But good old Indiana, we've got a good, strong workforce here in Indiana.
Crossroads of America.
That's right.
That's us.
Okay. Well, that is good to hear then. So you talked about a lead time earlier. What should I expect is a reasonable lead time if I wanted to use Vesta to help me with a formulation?
When you talk about lead times, you have to identify if it's a first-time product, if it's in existence, or if it's brand new. Those variables determine if usually it's 8 to 10 weeks standard. In some cases with testing and some of the factors of sourcing that particular ingredient levels, it could take a little longer. But standard is 8 to 10. I would say in a very unique, brand new situation with more than 1 or 2 ingredients that are hard to get, it could take up to 10 to 12 weeks. Oh. And then once you're in place and we've done a couple runs for you, hopefully we can streamline to maybe a 6 to 8 week scenario. So it just depends.
For a repeat order.
For repeat orders.
Right. There's a lot that goes into manufacturing. You have to think about sourcing the ingredients, about sourcing the packaging materials, the actual production of it, like you said, the testing. All these things add up, and don't let that be sticker shock. The fact that it's 6 or 8 to 10 weeks. And if you had R&D in there, that's probably why it would go more to like 10 to 12
Right, if you wanted to do a pilot run and do a beta test. These are all factors which will extend or shorten your window. So
right.
It just depends on your product, its existence, number of ingredients. So there's a lot of factors that go into that. Mm-hmm. But a standard word of thumb, 8 to 10 weeks.
Well, Val and Richard, I did hear both of you talk about testing. So why is that so important?
Well, testing is super important because the FDA doesn't really regulate supplements, but there is such thing as a Health and Education Act for dietary supplements. That means that the FDA is watching. They're watching closely. They're watching your label claims. You know, you can't claim that your capsule is going to cure cancer or cure coronavirus or something like that. You're not allowed to make those claims.
Oh, okay.
We have clinical studies and things like that, you know, that back up some of our label claims, but you're still not allowed to do that. And if you do, and the FDA finds that, they will come down on you. And what they will do is recall your product, and you're going to be out a lot of money. So the money that you put in, a lot of people want to skip that in the step because maybe they're a startup or they just don't want to put all that money into testing and they try to find shortcuts. Truthfully, in the end, you'll end up paying a whole lot more than you would have if you'd have just paid for the testing. And truthfully, at Vesta,
we pride ourselves in testing because
we do.
You
We
want to
have
ensure what the gold standard.
exactly.
You want to know what you're getting, and you want to make sure that it's done by authority. And we do third-party testing, so it's very unbiased and it's very thorough. We test for all the things that you want, like heavy metals, all the impurities, and the quality and the distribution and the balance, so that your product that you get is exactly what we determined at the time of our contract.
Right.
So there's always that assurance you're getting the gold standard in quality.
And we have a lady in our quality department that is an absolute testing fanatic.
Oh,
You
okay.
don't want to mess with Alice.
Okay.
She's a
She will
jewel.
make sure that you get
We
the
want
correct test.
that determined efficiency to make sure there's a consistency that we have that's second to none. And we love her, and that's what it takes to make their quality product.
That's right.
Great. Well, that's good to know. At least you know that you're not going to be cutting any corners with her, it sounds
Not
like.
with us. Alice
Okay.
will cut us before we cut a corner.
So is that account for part of that lead time that you said it could be 6 to 8 weeks or 8
Without
to 10
question.
weeks,
Without-
the testing part of it?
Testing, it could come back and it didn't pass.
Okay.
So you got to send
So
it back
then-
out. Again, that extends it another week, or maybe 2. So yes, testing is very much one of the key components that determines your lead time.
So how do you let your customer know that, okay, we need another week or 2? How does that work with the testing and your lead time?
Well, being in the sales department, it's communication. If you stay on top of this particular process, you're going to know way before it happens. You're going to say, well, it's going out for testing, and I'm going to alert you when it's going to come back. If it does come back negative, you can expect this kind of a delay. And if you stay close to your client and alert them to whatever may happen, it's usually a good scenario.
We do pride ourselves in good customer service.
I was going to say, you
That's
got to
right.
have that good customer service in order to keep that customer
Those
happy.
kind of relationships makes a long-term relationship.
That's
Okay,
right.
that's good to know. Well, there's somebody that I've been dying to meet. I've seen your mascot a few times on LinkedIn and other media, so I want to meet Punchy.
Oh, you've heard about Punchy.
You meet
I have a
Punchy.
surprise for you.
Really?
Punchy is here today with us, and I want you to meet him. Punchy, come on out.
Yes! All right, Punchy! What a surprise!
Hey, Punchy. Oh,
The man,
we're not social
the
distancing.
legend.
Hi, Punchy! Oh,
This is Packing a Punch right here.
That's right.
Our podcast talks about packing a punch, and there's the man.
and
That's
there
right.
he is.
If you want to see that
Wow.
podcast, go to www.vestanutra.com. You can check out all the information about contract manufacturing, get the link to our podcast,
Okay.
and see more about Punchy.
Okay, Punchy, let's pack a punch.
Boom!
Thanks for coming out.
Punch my stick.